Welcome to the Pathway. Today we jumped into Matthew 26 and we saw this amazing dichotomy between darkness and light. That we started with the shadowy meeting of the chief priests and the elders and the scribes plotting to murder Jesus, and things are as dark as midnight in this moment. And then in the very next verse, this very next moment, it is like the light turns on and we encounter this woman who has this alabaster jar of fragrant oil. And it's like she just gets it. She understands that she's in the presence of the only one who's worthy of all that she has. And she models for us this amazing moment of worship, showing us how we are meant to surrender and give all we have to Jesus. And it's beautiful. And then it's like the lights just go back off again. And it says this about Judas. It says, then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, what are you willing to give me if I deliver him to you? And they counted out to him 30 pieces of silver. And as I look at the guide today, I want to look at exploring question number 2, which says, which of the people in the story do you most identify with and why? And maybe surprisingly enough, I'm identifying with Judas here. Because I think for Judas, we know in the Gospel of John, we've already been told that he's been skimming money off the top, right? Kind of pocketing it himself. So we know he's starting to fall further and further away from knowing and trusting and following Jesus. But I think this is the moment where like the straw that breaks the camel's back happens. And for Judas, this is just it. It's a bridge too far. He doesn't understand what Jesus is doing and why. He doesn't believe in it. He wouldn't do it himself. And this is the moment where he chooses to just walk away and try to find treasure on his own terms, outside of Jesus, to have his needs met, his desires met. And man, aren't I tempted to do that myself? Like haven't there been times in my life where I didn't understand why God was doing something, didn't agree with it, I would have done it differently. And I'm tempted to begin to look for treasure on my own terms. But friends, what I've found is when I do that, I'm settling for a meager 30 pieces of silver. When in Christ, just unlimited, unimaginable treasure is being offered to me. And I wonder for you this week, where might be a spot where you're struggling to trust what God's doing in your life? Or maybe you would have done it differently. You don't understand. And you're tempted to begin to look for those pieces of silver outside of Jesus. Wonder what that might be for you. What if instead of being like Judas and choosing to look for treasure outside of Christ, what if we began to remind ourselves and realize that actually the treasure that we're looking for is Christ? That like Paul in Colossians, we might know the riches of the glory of this mystery, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. Have a great week.